Hey, alright traders, how you doing this week, guys? Hope you are having a great week. This week I'll be analyzing the market from the 11th of May to the 15th of May, and this week I'm adding in two more pairs. Actually, is the pound Aussie and the euro yen. So this is Tommy with Trading with Harmonies, and I'll see you straight after the intro. Alrighty, so here's our first pair. So we have the euro dollar. So we can still see that we are in a channel, which is a descending channel, and this has touched the actual channel several times, and there was a false breakout here. So we're still in the actual descending channel. So let's go into the 4-hour and have a look at the setups for this week. So we can see there's a symmetrical triangle here starting to form here. And last week I was talking about a pullback down here and then up into this target area. So this week I am still looking for the actual symmetrical channel to hold. And if price actually comes back down from here into the actual support line here, which is 1.0785, and holding in this symmetrical channel and coming straight back up to TP1, which is the 1.0960. So that's what I'm looking at for this week. Okay, so the actual the pound dollar, so we can still see that this is in a actual channel again with a false breakout here. It's still in a channel, and I'm looking for a setup in the 4-hour. I'll just go into that now and show you exactly what I'm looking at. But you can still see that it's still in a downward trend, and this is a crucial area right here, and it's still underneath this actual support line. So let's go into the 4-hour and see what I'm looking at. So last week I was talking about that we were looking at the actual price to stay underneath this level here, and which is at the 1.2414, and this was our target that we were going for. And so it actually just was shy of it actually this week. So I'm still looking for a another sell opportunity just for this structural line again, and to be underneath the actual descending channel, and we're looking for a another bounce back down into the TP1, which is the 1.2250, and quite possibly then another kind of pullback into this area here, and then continue on down to the second TP, which is the 1.2020 this week and beyond. So that's what I'm looking at for in the pound dollar. Okay, so we're looking at the actual dollar yen. So we can still see it's in a downward trend. So it's the higher high, the lower low, the higher or the lower high and the lower low. So we're still trend, which is in the downwards trend. So what I'm looking at then in the actual 4-hour is, if we last week I was talking about actually this price here to be holding in this area to come down to our TP1. So it did come down to this direction. So I'm still looking for it's a bounce, and it's to come back into this actually zone here, being the actual 107.29, and once it holds in this area, I'm looking for another bounce right back down to the TP1, which is the 105.60. So that's what I'm looking at for this week in the actual dollar yen. So this last week I was talking about actually we were looking for a price to hold in this area, and then we were looking for price to continue down and to hit our actual TP1, the 1.3930, which it did, but it gave us kind of a double top, and then we got our target hit, like, so that's great. So this week I'm looking for price to come back up to this, actually underneath of this actually support come resistance, if not just underneath the actual trend line as well. So once we get price to hold in this area, I'm looking for the actual price to bounce back down, and then it might possibly bounce back up again before we'll have another further bounce down to our TP2, which is the 1.3725. So that's what I'm looking at for this week in the actual dollar yen. Okay, so this is the new pair then. So this is the pound Aussie. So this is in an ascending channel going up. So that's breaking that ascending channel, as we can see here, like, you know. So that's after being touching this here several times here in this ascending channel. So it's just been hitting it so many times here, and then it finally broke it here. So we're actually underneath the ascending channel now, and so what I'm looking at then in the 4 hour is actually for price to come back into this structural zone area, which is the 1.9160. So what we're looking for is this to hold, and then the price for it to come back up into this area, and then to continue down into our TP1 area, which is the 1.8760, and then a pullback for this week and beyond down into the TP2, which is the 1.8520. So that's what I'm looking at for in the pound Aussie setups for this week and beyond. Okay, so this is another new pair that I'm introducing, which is the euro yen. So it's in a descending channel, and so you can see here where price has touched it here, nearly touching it here, nearly touching it here, it's touching it here, and just false breakout here. It's been touching it here several times. So in the 4 hour, what I'm looking at then is for price to come back into the structural area, which is the 116.32. So once we can get price to kind of hold in this area, I'll be looking for a further break down to the TP1, which is the actual 1.1480. Okay, so in gold then, what I'm looking at for in this upwards trend in the daily candle, in the 4 hour, the setups I'm looking for. So last week I was talking about that we're looking for price to come back down into this area, which it did, like, and I came back down into this area. So I'm looking for actual price now to continue down back into this, to test this one more time, and to continue back up to our TP1 1730. This week it just about nearly hit it, like, you know. So we're still in that move up in the actual gold, what I'm looking at for this week and beyond. Okay, so this is the Dow. So the Dow then actually is an upward trend in a channel again, ascending channel. So so this in the 4 hour, what we were looking at last week, I was talking about the actual for price to come back down into this area and to hold in this structural line, which is a 23,690 area, and it did. It held in this area and just on the actual ascending channel as well, and price came up shy of our target, but came back down, retested our structural line again and the ascending channel, and hit our target, which is the TP1 24,400. So for this week then, I'm looking for price to come back down into this area, and then to continue up to our second target, being the actual TP2, which is the 25,430 for this week and beyond. Alright guys, so that's it just for this week. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to leave your comments, and I'd love to hear your feedback, so that would be great. So have a great weekend and talk to you next week.